Chapter 2 The Nightstorm AD 1176, 18th December. The lone wanderer was walking along a trail. The winter wind whistled, made the bare branches clatter against each other, and whirled up snow whose flakes sparkled in the glow of the sun. But only briefly did the rays dare to emerge from the cloud cover. Even the sky seemed full of that white cold today, and just the firs kept their green dress, which now wore the snow like a blanket. A wind chime could be heard in the distance. After he had stopped, the young man pulled his black cloak tighter around his body. His gaze reached out to a rustic hut, the property of a farm owner, and if he was not mistaken, he recognized it now. The reason why he had come to this out-of-the-way corner of St. Tor. From here it was just a black speck on 4 legs. Whether it would be more, enough, would hopefully be revealed by the rest of the day. He sighed, pulled his hood deeper into his face and continued on his way. With a squeak, the door closed behind the stout owner, who had to duck his head as he stepped through. "Thank you for taking me in," spoke the newcomer, taking off his wolf mask and sitting in front of the crackling fireplace, whereupon the snow on his black armor began to melt. Outside, the wind continued to whistle, but here it could no longer harm him.
"You know I can offer you a chair. You don't have to sit there on the floor."
"That's all right," the wanderer replied.
"What's your name?"
the owner asked, brushing the few snowflakes from his brown hair that made it onto his head in a short time. "Few know my true name, and I would prefer it to remain that way."
"Ah."
The owner pushed back one of the 3 chairs at the table and took a seat in a casual posture.
"Dirt on you, eh?"
The wanderer fell silent.
"I don't give a damn about what the townsfolk may pin on you, whatever it may be. After what was done to Nightstorm and Göttingen, and how they kicked me out."
"I heard about that."
"Sure you have. You're here for that, aren't you?"
"I'm curious."
"Curiosity kills the cat."
The wanderer looked at him over his shoulder. "I am not a cat."
"Then what are you?"
For a few more seconds he held his gaze. Then he turned it back to the fireplace. The owner exhaled in one long breath and said,
"I don't give a damn what you are. If you want to look at the nag, I can lead you right to it."
With a clatter the barn door was closed and only the light that fell through the high narrow windows illuminated the premises. It smelled of damp hay and warm fur. And, how could it be otherwise? Dung.
"Now."
The owner tapped one of the gates with his palm, then gestured behind it with a nod of his head.
"There it is. The Nightstorm. Doesn't seem to be good for much these days except as a museum piece. And my pretty made-up ruin if it goes on like this."
The wanderer stood in front of the gate. There, lying in the corner, was it. The horse he had seen from a distance standing out in the field. He was amazed at how well he knew the look of the animal. Green eyes that looked at him tiredly, but surviving to this day, as if their owner had lived through one long night. The black Frisian had a distinctive white patch on his forehead, and the tip of his muzzle was brown as plowed earth.
"Is 8 years the thing?"
he heard the owner say casually as he noticed a dirty bandage on the animal's front right leg. "Is that why he doesn't race at Göttingen anymore?"
"Aye. This shite's what it is. I made a fortune on that horse, even if he's stubborn and bucks. But he runs like no other, until this."
He spat on the ground.
"Incident. It happened during the last race. Stupid brute trips over his own necks. Now the damn thing won't heal, and not only did I lose the last bet and a good piece of my golden nose, but now it looks like the horse is going to eat the hair off my head this winter."
"The bandage has to be changed."
"The animal has already suffered enough. I'll probably have to put it out of its misery one of these days."
The wanderer opened the gate carefully.
"Hey, didn't you hear what I just said?"
He saw the young man kneel down in front of the animal and slowly reach out with his hand to touch its cheek. Before he could touch it, however, the stallion bit down, but narrowly missed.
"I told you so,"
came from behind him, adding with a smirk,
"You'd better watch out that he doesn't nibble off something of your body too."
"What did you have to go through to be like that?" The wanderer asked the horse in his mind, but its gaze remained fixed and stubborn. He rose again, went out and closed the gate behind him. Then he said, "You said that animal caused you nothing but trouble."
"Trouble? You can listen. More than I can say for my wife many a time."
"What would you say if I took this burden from you?" The owner raised a brow and suspicion could be seen in the eyes of his chubby face.
"Uh-huh. And how much is this fun going to cost me? Then all I really need to do is take a hatchet or something and do it myself."
I was going to ask you the same thing, but since you assume I'm asking for payment, I'll tell you this. I'm not asking for a penny.
Then I'll ask for some.
No, the Wanderer replied firmly, shaking his head. You don't have to get your hands dirty for that. He looked to the Frisian. And if he ruins my winter, then back to the owner. Well, what do you care?
Gratitude is the world's reward, young man.
You can kick me off your property for all I care if it helps you. But the beast. For the first time, the young man now lifted his head, and what he saw was a scar running across from the bridge of his nose away over his left eye to his jaw. Comes with me. The owner winced as if a lance had been driven through his stomach.
No, take him, please. You're taking a quick house blessing from me with the neck.
In the end, the horse caught him with its teeth after all, as he put the harness on him, so that he could at least pull him along behind him on the leash. But it had only caused a small flesh wound. It shouldn't be anything more serious. At least he didn't have to deal with a broken leg. Upright, the animal was big. Huge for a horse. He himself was already taller than most by a head's length, but the animal's withers reached almost to his nose. A rotund woman stepped up beside the owner and inquired about what had happened.
Quote,
he finally spoke when he had finished telling the story, and they both watched the Wanderer dragging the limping animal in the snowy wind behind them.
I think tonight it would be better if we locked all doors and kept one eye open diligently. Also speak your best prayer to Thorin.
And find this. Got rid of the beast. I thought that was what you always wanted.
Woman, don't you get it?
He gulped.
That guy just now. I think that was the Black Wolf.